on to, it's going to be a very touchy subject. Pillar 7 is work-life balance. Crooked as all heck, but you're going to have to identify, write it down. If it's in your journal on a piece of paper, write down your ideal scenario of your work day. Write down an ideal scenario of your home or your away from work day. Like just on average, it doesn't have to be like specific, but how much time do you want to spend here? How much time do you want to spend here? And would you rather wake up earlier, wake up late, work earlier? Just kind of write some things down, visualize, and write it down as in like a calendar or a schedule and almost, and stick to that. You want to if you want to come home at 5 every day, like write that down in your calendar, set a timer on your phone, and then like 4:45, all right, time to clean up. Gives you 15 minutes to get cleaned up, get ready to go, and then that way you can leave at 5. And sometimes in certain circumstances with promise times and customers, that number may vary a little bit. But if it's very important to you to sustain work-life balance, it's very important that you need to track it and keep track of it. You can't just, if you're leaving early every day, that looks bad on you. If you're coming in late every day, set your schedule for work. Set your alarms, whether it's alarm to wake up or it's alarm to leave on time. Set those alarms, set those warnings, so you can keep track of that time. And then when you're at home, like separate from work. Like if you have issues and stuff with work, try not to bring that home. I know we all want to talk to our families and our significant others about our work problems, and like rightfully so, like that's our significant other. We want to share our lives with them, but try to avoid as much of that as possible, the negativity at least, because that flows over into your family life, and that flows in, and your negativity might bring down your family. And it's important to separate those and balance out that stuff. Like bring home your wins, talk about your good days. If you need to complain, like, maybe complain one day of the week. Like try not to do it every day. Like kind of put it in a situation where if you're complaining every day, why? Realize why you're complaining and write that in your journal. If you're complaining about the same thing for 2 months straight, it's time to look in the mirror and realize that something needs to change. So if I could give one piece of advice on work-life balance, is realizing that when you're starting out your technician career, your work-life balance is going to be crap. You can't go into it thinking, well, I only want to work 8 hours a day, but I'm going to make 100 hours a week. Well, I guarantee you that's probably not going to happen. And if you want to only work 8 hours a day and you're okay with making 60 hours a week, then that's okay too. I'm here to try to help you make as much money and hours as possible in that time frame that you want to work. I'm not going to tell you I will suggest. I'm not going to say you need to be successful in my program to work a bunch of extra hours. Will it help you? Yes. Let's say you put in a grind way too many hours for the first 6 months, 6 months of your technician career, or the first few months of the program here, and you put in a whole bunch of extra time, and then in a few months you reel it back to where you've taken all that efficiency you've learned and you're applying it to the time frame that you wish to work. Well, yeah, you're definitely going to benefit. You're going to have to put that work in earlier to reap the benefits later. So put the work in. That's important. Put the work in, because you can't just go into it thinking you deserve all the hours and you deserve all the work. You have to put the work in at some point. I mean, if you're here and you already have a family and you're not wanting to put up enough time, like your expectations of what you're going to be able to achieve need to be adjusted, because you do need to put in that extra work to reap the benefits down the road. So we'll work with that. I'll suggest some things, maybe some, I always find that going in a little bit earlier when the family's still asleep, or if you got to drop the kids off at school, it's a little different situations apply. But balance your life, set your schedules, set your alarms, and stick to it. Don't allow work to roll over, and don't be showing up late. And if you're focused on making more hours, that needs to be your focus. If you want to hang out with your friends and you want to go to all these activities and you don't want to be at work, it's just not, maybe this isn't the right thing for you. I mean, I know we're at pillar 7 here, we're almost done, but I definitely wouldn't say that your focus needs to be enjoying all these crazy things outside of work, and then you show up late, you come in late, and you leave early. Your managers and your team is going to see that, and they're going to see that you're not putting in a normal average time. And they're going to see, you go ask for a raise, they're going to be like, well, you've been late for the last 2 months. Why do you deserve a raise? Oh, all I'm getting is bad tickets. My group leader, Johnny, all he gives me is crap. Well, you show up 30 minutes late. So that goes into the balance aspect of things. Do more than what's expected of you, because even if you're working your time, go above and beyond to help people out and to show that you're ready to work. Because when you're at work, that should be your responsibility, is to do the best you can while you're there and show everybody that you're trying your hardest.